Builder. It's a deep application and not everybody knows all the features of it. Here are some other features for you. Files owner. You see this thing by clicking on this button. Click on the file owner, the view, and when you come over here in your the connections inspector, right here, files owner, click on your view and you see, okay, now I gotta click on files owner right there, and look at what happens here as I scroll up and down. I have all my outlets and actions. As I hover over them, it tells you, click which button. This button has it. View. This is the view connection. An outlet for the text box and for the my label. So in one stop you can see your view and what's going on there. The multilingual. Let's say you have a Spanish and English application. What do you do in that case? Look at this nib file. We have just one. You click on your project right here, then up here, info tab. Here's the localization. English is the only language right there. It has two files. Click on this plus sign, select your language of your choice, click finish, and look what it did. Now there are two nib files. It just copied your nib file. Here's the English one, here's the Spanish one. It's not going to translate the labels for you. So once you have your nib file in English, you go through this process. You come over here and find your the correct place, and highlight, click, highlight, click, and expand it. And now here's your English nib file and your Spanish nib file. In order to type Spanish in here, you need the Mac that has a Spanish keyboard or the character map application. But it's and when in your iPhone, when the user selects in the preferences the language, the correct nib file will load, either the English or Spanish, depending on what the user selects in their preferences in their iPhone. Okay, the next one is how to subclass. You can basically subclass either the labels, buttons, and everything. Let's say you want to do something special in the background. You want to create your own, write your own code. So the step number one is to create an new file, Objective-C class, and it's a subclass of UI view. If it doesn't show here, click on this drop down and select here that my custom view is going to be a subclass of my UI view. By default it's a UI view, you don't see it because it's hidden. So now you're going to create a file like that, and it's added right there. So now basically for each nib file we're going to come over here, select here, and select the correct tab right there, which is, you see how by default is UI view. We want to see my custom UI view, and you see it doesn't show up here. There's a bug in Xcode. You gotta restart Xcode, quit Xcode. Okay, so Xcode is restarted now. So I select your nib file here, and then it shows up here. You click here, and then this tab right there, Identity Inspector, Custom Class, my custom UI view shows up over here. Now instead of the UI view, your custom view will display. Now if you look inside my custom view, there's a draw rect method. We uncomment this method and write your code here to do the custom drawing. Maybe you want to draw a rectangle and do writing a game. What would you type over here depends on your skills of Objective-C and Cocoa Touch, which will be coming in later. Subclassing is fine, but let's say you want to have a nice background here. One way is to use the image view. So here's the image view. We select our nib file, image view, drag it here, resize it. You see a label is dimmed. It's behind the image view. That's not right. So we drag it up to be the very first one. Now you see it became dark. If you have the picture that you want to use as the background, you drag it here into the supporting files or another folder group of your choice. Once you've done that, we come back here and in the show attributes inspector image, select that image. See how it became black? That default image is like that. But if you have the nice picture that you want, it'll show up there. So that's one way